From fears about a coming recession to making sure your family is taken care of when you pass away, it is Money Monday. Paul Hood from Hood CPAs is here to help us navigate our finances. Paul, good to see you.
Good to see you, man.
We got 3 questions today, so let's get started. The first comes from David today, and he says, I'm thinking about expanding my company and hiring 3 new positions. However, I'm concerned about a recession. Is it smart to hire now or wait to see if a recession hits?
So that's a very difficult question. What most people don't understand is great things begin in down times. We all have this tendency when things are really good to forget they're going to be bad again, and when things are bad to forget they're going to be good again. And there's a quote in a book, the guy that owns the Houston Rockets, Tillman Fertitta, he says, when times are tough, eat the weak and build your business, which sounds kind of tough. But what he's saying is this is the times when people that have courage and think outside the box can really take some strides so that when things turn around, they're positioned for it. So it can't be a yes or no. If he's got a product that he can survive and he can be trained so that if things do go down and start coming back up, he's in a good position. It's a great time to expand.
Okay. Our next question is from Susan, and she says, I recently received an inheritance. What do I need to know about how my inheritance will be taxed? It's a good question.
Yeah, so generally speaking, an inheritance is not taxable unless it's what's called income with respect to a decedent, which what that means is if a parent dies and they've got an IRA or they've got retirement money or an annuity that nobody's ever paid ordinary income taxes, then the person receiving it has to pay taxes. But if you inherit stocks, you inherit a house, you inherit cash, none of that is taxable. Now what you have to do is you have to know what those things are worth at date of death, because if you sell those things, that's the date that you compare gain or loss to. It's called step up in basis. So generally speaking, unless it's retirement income, there's no taxes.
Okay. And then our last question today is from Stephen, and Stephen says, my wife and I want to make sure our possessions and assets go to our family when we pass away. How should we title our house, cars, and other assets to ensure they go to our kids?
So the first question that I always ask is, do you want to control your assets from the grave? Meaning, do you have young children? Do you have special needs kids? Or do you just have a knucklehead for a kid, that you get some money and they're going to go blow it? And so if you want to control your assets from the grave, then you have a trust, because when you die, the trust stays in existence, and it's literally like you're standing there that you can say, little Johnny, when he does this, he gets this. Or if I have 3 sons and one of them makes a bunch of money, he can handle this. One of them doesn't make very much money, he can't handle as much, because unearned wealth is always negative. It's always a negative thing. Other than that, you can, in Oklahoma at least, you can do what's called payable in death, PODs, TODs, beneficiary designations, and be very specific on where you want to go. A will works, but it has to be probated. So I would take steps.
All right. Paul, good questions today, good answers. We appreciate it. If you have a financial question you would like for me to ask Paul next week, send them to us at moneymonday@griffin.news.